What is up, guys? Welcome back to another part in our WordPress business website building series. I wanted to update you a little bit. This site has been slightly modified since I did my last video. I just wanted to clean it up a little bit to get ahead of the curve before we started modifying on it, because there were some things I really didn't like about it. Like, I didn't like the menu layout, really. As you can see, I changed the header. Now it's kind of a green menu with just text, and then overlay menu. And I also changed the bottom a little bit. I added some transparency to this, and then I changed the footer to just a solid footer look with the same color scheme as I picked for the rest of the site. And today what we're going to do is we're going to continue building on this a little bit, and I want to focus this video on, and like I say, guys, this series, I don't know how it kind of turned into a Themify series, but I noticed there was a huge hole in the market for people working on Themify, and I've used it for so long and I've done so much with it, and it is like the best value themes I've ever bought for the $89 or whatever it is for a year to all their updates and everything and all their themes and plugins. And I hate to sound like a broken record trying to sell Themify because I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I do use it for everything. And today I'm going to show you how it kind of makes it easy for you to modify on mobile as well, because let me say this. I've ran a lot of pay-per-click traffic, and I would say 75 to 80% of the clicks are mobile these days, so it's really working its way that direction. Anyway, let's just start right away by turning the builder back on. Okay. And so in the builder, something that's pretty cool about this is something that you're going to notice about Themify is that up in this top bar here, you have all this additional stuff like page CSS and interface options and blah, blah, blah. And your block options when, open blocks and all that. Like, we're going to actually get rid of these and do a image left, text right. It's going to like fly in and stuff. Well, I have a couple of ideas. Anyway, and then for people that don't know, this was like a typewriter plugin builder add-on for Themify that comes with all your Themify stuff. If you see these right here, this lets you preview what it's going to look like on different devices. So let's drop it down to a mobile. Okay, and this is what it would look like on a phone right here. And as you can see, let's say that we wanted to change something on phone, right? Because it looks okay. Everything seems to be decently spaced, except for this right here needs some margin in it. It's a little too close. And then also you can grab the right bar here and you can make it even smaller, like if you're working with a smaller phone or a bigger phone. But let's just say we're working with mobile, and let's say that on mobile I wanted something to look different. Like say that I wanted my text right here to be bigger or smaller. What's interesting is if you go to edit it and then you take a look at the styling option, if you see here, look what it has. It has the mobile, the tablet, the sideways tablet, and the computer. And it's going to default to whatever one you're working on. So the fact that we selected mobile, it's now working only in the mobile. And for people who are not familiar with CSS, I didn't really do any lessons on CSS because this takes care of a lot of it for you, but those are your style sheets to take care of what your page looks like and how all this stuff is read by a browser, like the fact that this button's over here, not centered, that this little video flies in behind, and that how everything's mocked up on this page is done by the CSS. And CSS changes based on the screen size and what's called media queries. Media queries determine, like, if the screen's only 400 pixels wide, do this. If the screen's less than 700 pixels, do this. If the screen's less than 1200, do this. And so it changes its rules on how it treats stuff. Like you'll see it's changing its rules, changing its rules, changing its rules, changing its rules real time. Because like on a desktop layout, all these are side by side. Right? Well, how do they know to drop under each other on mobile? Because CSS changes, right? Because the CSS is telling it what to do. It's saying, okay, the fact that this is now a phone size, I need you to do this instead of that. Okay. But the thing is, what's cool about Themify is it allows you to modify CSS only at that level. So let's say, and it does it without you having to go into the media queries yourself. So the fact that we selected mobile, and then this is selected on mobile, now when we're editing this open 7 days a week, like let's take the font and do something with it. Let's say that at this level, I want the font size to be this big, which I would never do, obviously, because it looks terrible. And let's say we also want it bold. Right, and then we save that. Well, when we scroll, this thing's going to be a little check mark. Okay, and when we scroll it back to a desktop size, you're going to watch it change. See how it got smaller? And then back on the mobile, see how it got way bigger? Okay, so if we were using a phone, and you can also look at this in the preview, it takes away all your tools and everything, shows you like if somebody was actually looking at it on a phone. Although I don't think videos work on phones. I think this would be our solid background image that we'd have to make. And also the header being white, I don't know why it's that, but that's terrible. You can't even see what the website's about. And also there'd be a phone number under here and some other stuff. But anyway, look at the desktop. Okay, looks totally different on desktop, right? Right. And then back on mobile, see how that got bigger? And that got smaller. And then also another thing is on the mobile, when you hover over it, when you're previewing real time, it gives you different sizes of popular phones. So anyway, and so back on the desktop mode. Okay, and now we're editing for desktop. So anything that we set, like this here, will only apply to the desktop. But once we get to that mobile, we can change it to whatever we want. So we could take this and we could go to the font, we could edit it back down to whatever I had it as the default size. And I left the bold on, right? But I could take the bold off or make it bold, leave it, save it, and now it's edited only at the mobile level for that. So we know that our cell phone compatibility, we can change all this stuff. And actually another cool thing is, say we wanted this to disappear completely on a cell phone. We could say cell phone, and then up here we have animation. This is like how it bounces, scrolls in, sticks, all that, jQuery. And then we have visibility, and check this out. So on visibility, we could say on mobile, hide. And on mobile phones, see in here, it's not going to do it, I think, unless we do a preview. I don't even know if it'll do it in the preview. I don't think it will. Because it doesn't recognize it as a phone, right? It's still a computer. So anyway, so back at the mobile. Anyway, so on this item right here, once again at mobile, see we can hide it on mobile, show it on mobile, hide it on desktop, show it on desktop. And this is how we can actually bring in items that you would never show on a desktop, like say a click to call link or something like that. We could only we could disable it on everything except for mobile, and then it would only show on a phone. So that's going to help us take care of our site. So as we're editing, the cool thing is we can finish the site how we see it on a desktop. We can say, okay, on a desktop, oh, I don't want to modify that. On a desktop, it looks like this. And then we can get happy with it and say, okay, we're really happy with our design. It looks really good on a desktop. Then we can go to a sideways tablet. We can say, okay, well, how does it look on a sideways tablet? Does it look good? Does it look bad? How does it look? And we can say, okay, we're happy with it on a sideways tablet. How does it look on a regular upright standing tablet? It doesn't look too bad. It still looks pretty good. How does it look on a phone? Not as good as I'd like. This overlay effect kind of doesn't look so good on a phone. It would kind of look better to have it gone, honestly, and just have this brought up tight under this, and then just that as the header, what it's doing right here, and then a solid picture of those flowers behind, and then this stuff changed, because I mean, these features are cool, these little ring things, but I don't really want them in this particular site, I don't think. And then some of this stuff would be nice to have a little bit of spacing between it for some gutter. And then these as well, right? They have no padding, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, it just puts contact right on top of the contact form. And we could do that by saying at the mobile level, like I just talked about, we could say margin, uncheck this, and say the top, and let's give it some margin, like 15, right? And then save that. Right, so now you see how it looks a little better. It kind of like showed where it split off. So now it shows that these are two separate things. And it's only at the mobile level. So we just edited the media query at the mobile level for that real time. And then if we go back to the desktop, it won't affect desktop at all. It won't put any kind of weird margin above it to drop it, you know, below this one. Because otherwise it would be like, this one would be down here by 15 pixels. So anyway, I just kind of, in this video, wanted to show kind of a quick overview of how to use that, how to use this little top menu thing here in Themify to edit items only at their level, which is really cool, because in the older days of CSS, you had to open a file and you had to edit these manually with media queries. And people still do that, by the way. When you're building raw HTML, if you're not using a build, like any kind of WYSIWYG editor or anything, you still have to do that. So that makes a really, really big difference. If you're building in Themify, you can do a lot of this stuff by just clicking it. And then now whenever you modify anything, it's only the styling at that level. And so it doesn't affect the page at the tablet level, the sideways tablet level, or the desktop level. And I think that by default, everything, the media queries, all copy what you do at the desktop level, unless you go to the one individually and set it. That's why these always look, that's why they look the same, right? Because they're just copying what the desktop level is, and then you can modify them at the individual level to change them. Like, we could change this button to blue. We could really do anything we want, and then it would change only at the mobile level when phones are detected. And so your site's going to look great, because phones are vitally important. We're going to make sure the site is extremely flexible for cell phones. Like I said, they make up probably 80% of your incoming traffic, especially from Google. So I think I'm probably going to end that there before I get into the building part, because the next one I want to modify this section and give it some text on the right, a picture of flowers on the left, have it fly in, do some bouncing stuff. And then I kind of want to modify these because I'm not really a huge fan of this blue background thing and this color and all that I originally selected. I want to change that too. This I want to make into maybe like something about, remember I said we're going to focus this site into weddings? I might make this a wedding section. Who are our clients? This would actually be vitally important for making a testimonial section of people who have used your service, and then you could say like pictures of them, like, hey, look, these people loved us and we did a great job, and all the boilerplate kind of stuff that businesses put up. And then down here is obviously your contact and your address and all that information if you have one, and if you don't, it would just be a contact form and your email and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here. As always, guys, I appreciate you watching, and if you like it, please like it, and leave me a comment if you think that you like where it's going, and subscribe too if you're not subscribed already, because like I always say, it keeps me motivated to keep making more videos. So anyway, that's going to wrap us up. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next part.